It was just a few short weeks ago that two giant retailers, Krogers and Albertsons, announced a $25 billion merger. Now, like almost all companies that make these kinds of mega deals, much was written about the complementary skills and the synergies that, according to both companies, make the success of this marriage all but assured. But we all know that the promise of value creation in mergers and acquisitions is anything but a sure thing. A Harvard Business Review study estimated that up to a whopping 70% of mergers failed to create value for stockholders and stakeholders. And you can easily find some pretty strong analyses of why these failure rates are so high from credible sources like PwC, Investopedia, and McKinsey. But Mary and I see a huge reason for failures that don't show up on PwC and McKinsey's analyses. It's about a failure to integrate the sales and marketing forces of the combined companies in a way that enables an organization to realize said synergies. Mary and I are called into many post-merger organizations to try to help salvage these promised synergies before it's too late. Here is what we find almost every time. There's almost never an organizational mechanism that helps the members of each organization's commercial teams to know exactly where, when, and how to sell the other team's products. I know it sounds incredible, but it's true. Typically, each selling organization is given some training on the other organization's products and then are expected to know how to position them with their current familiar portfolio into their accounts. The idea that each sales force will be excited on their own to have something new to sell, and thus will be self-motivated and able to figure out what works, that's just dead wrong. This belief and many companies' obsession with inorganic growth has led to the following not so unusual scenario that we've been called into. For example, a pharma company that had 26 different brands of birth control pills in their portfolio. Reps were able to present the few that they had some familiarity with, but the rest, many of which were even better fits for a client situation at hand, died a slow death. So what's the solution to all of this? The first suggestion applies before your B2B company's next acquisition. Prune your overgrown garden of brands. Many B2B parent companies are reluctant to kill acquired brand names and just leverage the equity of other healthier brands that they already own. This is almost never due to any kind of customer desire. It's often due to the emotional ties that these legacy brands have with legacy employees from the former organization that was acquired. Now, this is a bigger deal than you think because most B2Bs don't have a significant brand building budget like many B2Cs do. So brand equity is largely built through sales conversations that your commercial force is having with B2B buyers. And when these sales conversations are diluted because reps aren't concentrating on just a few powerful brands, it's a huge opportunity lost. Once your brand portfolio is pruned, then your next acquisition can be commercially integrated using needs-based segmentation of your customer base as an organizing mechanism. This is what I mean by this. Defining 3 to 5 needs-based segments that cut across the newly merged organizations, and then slotting each organization's products into their most appropriate segments. Sales reps at least can know who from the newly acquired organization that they can call into their client accounts to present highly relevant and highly valued products and services. But we see this needs-based segmentation actually does much more than this, because through the needs-based matrix in this organization I'm talking about, when it's created, salespeople can actually see very specifically the synergies that the executives saw at the time of the merger. They know the precise customer situations and needs that their newly expanded sales bag helps fill. They actually then become motivated to learn more about the acquired company's offerings because they see clearly how it's going to make them more valuable to their clients. We've seen it many times. It's how the pharma company that I talked about earlier finally made a success of their untenable portfolio of 26 birth control products. In our opinion, the secret to being one of the 30% of mergers that actually adds value lies in 2 steps. First, you got to prune your overgrown garden of brands so that you can take full advantage of the best brand equity channel that most B2Bs have, the concentrated conversations of your legions of sales reps around a few very powerful brands. Second, instead of relying on product training alone and the skills of your sales force to integrate new brands and products after a merger, use needs-based segmentation to organize the presentation of both companies' combined offerings into the right situations at the right time. These could be the gifts that keep on giving to your B2B organization in 2023 and beyond. Happy holidays to all of you.